Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Saints going up against the Panthers. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. An early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there right off the bat. 57 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They go play action here on first down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram taking it in. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. One play, two plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a #1 receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit. Higher.
What's tight end? Three down. Mike, 57.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A little 360. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And a look at the defense now. So we've got a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. 23 yards on the play.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well-conceived, well-designed, and even better executed. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Defense showing blitz. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Backing up. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. That's caught at the 2. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Jay Samaro, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. One receiver left, two to the right. They'll look to throw now on first down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Coney Ely in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right, because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
First down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their dangerous wide receiver, 38 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Extra point forthcoming. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints defense getting ready here, heading back onto the field. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
And sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see. Off play action. Newton. And his throw here's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Ten yards still left on second down. And they'll run it here. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down.
I love it. He ran a hitch route on 3rd and 6, and normally that's not deep enough to get your first down. I'd say he really ran a hitch plus to make sure he got the first down yardage. Really intelligent route running.
Yeah, because what do you say, hitches are normally 1 to 3?
Yeah, somewhere in the neighborhood. You just kind of come off the line of scrimmage and kind of show yourself to the quarterback and say, hey, here I am, present it. He went ahead and took it far enough downfield to make sure that they had enough yardage to pick up the first down.
It's complete right side to Benjamin. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd down now after the pass completion. They'll come out in the pistol. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Oh, he tried to pitch it and the ball's loose. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he's into the end zone, a fumble return, and a Saint touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. On first down, it's Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the 50, Newton. It's complete to Brown, right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out.
Man left, man left. Come on now, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They fake the give. Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Newton on third down. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Jay Samaro, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
Gano now to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Ingram. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Well, I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still 3rd down.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on 3rd down. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They come up in an offset eye. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Star Latulele in on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's caught. Kobe Flainer. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And now a first down following that long gain.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Second down following the run. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll set up a throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Red zone opportunity.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They come out here in the eye. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. On third down, Mark Ingram. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. You know, normally he's probably pretty happy with his performance at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him for this week, oh, they're happy with what's going on. But for him leading a team, trying to win a ball game, I agree with you. Not happy at all. Trying to figure out how to up his game and inspire his teammates to do the same.
That's a true leader. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Tough spot for the offense, 3rd and 8. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. And the Saints signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on 4th down, here's Matt Darr to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dancing to his left. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Panthers are behind right now, but the home crowd should give them a boost. The Saints will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now, 1st and 10, the pass will be completed into coverage, and it's going to end up going for a gain of 57. Saints now later on the drive. Ingram's the target here, and he caps off the two-play drive with the score. They'll take the early advantage. Panthers have it at the 7. Tight coverage here, but the completion is made, and this will go all the way for a touchdown. We're tied back up at 7. Moving now to late in the first. The connection is made in the middle of the field, and this will go for a touch. That takes the lead up to 7. We go now late in the first. Ball's going to be up for grabs here. Saints will pick up the loose football and score. The Saints up by 2 touchdowns. 3rd down from the 12. Newton's going to complete the pass, and it ends up working for a touchdown. Panthers down by 7. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you up to North Carolina for the second half with Brandon and Charles. Gents.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints defense, we watch them get set to go. They've got the lead on the scoreboard, and just speaking of the scoreboard, forget it. When you're leading, whether the defense has given up 0 points or 30 points in that first half, is your coordinator a little more happy? Going into half 2 regardless.
It allows them to do a few more things because of what you just said. You're winning, so now they can get on you a little bit more if they want to. They can make the changes that they want and feel like everyone's locked in, because when you're winning, your attention is usually focused pretty well on your team.
They've got the lead right now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there, as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. Now the ball comes loose, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Left side and caught by Flainer. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. Back to throw here. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Third down now following the completed pass.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. He's going to get the football. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38.
Time running out here on the play clock. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New Orleans defense, we get set to watch them go. Forced the fumble last time, up on the scoreboard, things going their way.
Things are rocking easy now, and they feel good about themselves, confident, taking the ball away in the last possession. They're going to try and do it again.
So let me ask you, can you be playing free and that can be good, or it can also become bad, right?
I like the way you put it. You're exactly right. It can work both ways. Sometimes you get too loose and give up big plays and not handle your responsibilities. But oftentimes when you're playing free and easy and locked in, as they are today, you see the end result.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Play action. Newton. He gets it to Brown. Good play. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Fresh set of downs here. Now Newton on 1st down. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. It's complete to Brown, right side. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that gets them back within 10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is taken near the 13. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now it's Ingram, and hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Ingram again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. On the counter, Ingram. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
4 yards remaining now on second down.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's complete. Flainer, right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Set. 3-19. Detroit.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Ingram. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So it's an empty possession there, and you have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise if this would come up short.
And the Panthers coming out now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On 1st and 10, Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Newton on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
He's got some space. operating in the red zone. And he'll give it here to his running back. Whoosh. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here's the option going right. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Kelvin Benjamin. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers have got it back to a 1-score game. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
Back to throw. Left side and caught by Flainer. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Play clock winding down. They come out here in the eye. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, Why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. The gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. They'll come out in the pistol. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I've become a firm believer over the years that many drops happen before the ball's even snapped. When you call a wide receiver screen, as we saw there, I know these guys really well. They're thinking about that play going to the end zone, and sometimes they forget to catch the football first.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Around 2 minutes to go, and if the D can hold them, that'll end this one.
We always think about the offense attacking. In this case, I'm looking for the defense to do the same.
He'll look to throw, and he finds Jason Morrow. And he will have a 1st down as they get into the ground at the 37. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet inbounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
He's back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the and now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away.
56, Mike, 56.
They'll look to throw. Amaro's got it, left side. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It's a gain of 7. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Single, slot. Hey,
now Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to tie things up in the final minute. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it.
Oh, partner, my partner. That was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
It was indeed. It was a long, long field goal, and that ties this ball game here in the 4th quarter.
And that sideline absolutely loved it, didn't they? I don't know how many of them thought that he would make that, but once the ball got over the crossbar, that's one fired-up football team.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks with time running out. And the Saints have moved out in front.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. Now the try here for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. We get a look at the Saints defense as they file into position. And they're just trying to keep them out of the end zone. Obviously, a field goal does no good in this situation. So what's the appropriate amount of pressure defensively, Charles?
I think you send a little more pressure than what is normal. If you normally want to send a 3-man rush, maybe you make it 4. If it's 4, maybe you make it 5. Anything to make sure that he can't just sit back there all day and find a target. And then you tell your secondary, play your normal coverage, and maybe an extra step or 2 back.
Yeah, be careful that nothing goes over the top. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now it's Newton. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. One last throw here for Newton. He's got time. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for New Orleans, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.
Guys, we all watched the film from yesterday, and I hope everyone knows it wasn't good enough. Today's practice has got to be great. You want to win a ball game, take advantage of your practice reps, because Sunday's going to be here before you know it.
We ready? Red 18! Red 18!
right, small steps in the right direction. That's what we've been talking about. And you know what? Today you took a lot of those small steps. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. All right, man, bring it in tight, bring it in tight. Let me tell you something. That was the best practice of the season. Not a single mental mistake. That's the type of practice championship teams have. Keep it up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Raiders going up against the Cowboys. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Oakland Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3, and he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
Now on first down. It's complete. Fleener, right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. To throw, it's Carr. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On second down, here's Carr. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
All right, here we go. Wide and yay. Wide and yay.
Carr now on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Jackson's got it over the middle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Can't find anyone open. Complete. Richardson has it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Here's the punter, McAfee, to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who won a playoff game as a rookie in 2011 from North Carolina. It's T.J. Yates.
The best quality of T.J. Yates is his poise. Unruffled when he had to play in some key games early in his career. Handled that very well. Understands how to be a good backup and is always ready to play when called upon.
They'll come out in the pistol. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Leopard!
They'll run it again with Sims. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case,
and he'll be hit from behind and taken down. D'Amico Ryans in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
This is fielded at the 27. Might have been 1 man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense now with a short field ahead. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
Here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
Hey. Here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
Carr. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So just a lone field goal in this 1st quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, but they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4. It's first and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
They come out here in the eye. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Derrick Henry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's the rookie Derrick Henry that polishes it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Here we go. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Akeem Spence able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. A dump off to Sims. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Johnny Hecker now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. It's away, and it's a high kick here, but not high enough to hit the scoreboard here in Dallas.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
On first down, Carr. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On second down, here's Henry. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They come up in an offset eye. Carr to throw on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The target that time was Vincent Jackson, and it's third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. The play clock's running down. Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. This is caught by Jackson. Give him 30 yards there. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition, because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Throwing on first down is Carr. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner. Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Again, it's Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by the former first-rounder, Justin Gilbert. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder that coming up at halftime, we'll join Larry Ridley in Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. So we look forward to that.
And I'm looking forward to some air conditioning.
I bet you are. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding time. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Here we go. 3-19.
Sims. And Sims lost it. He lost the football. Does the big boy have the juice? He cuts left sideline and a crease there. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Start the drive. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And it's 17-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. 10 yards on the pickup there. And the Raiders are going to have a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
They'll run it again with Henry. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Seven yards to go on second down. Now they'll throw with Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Smith. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down. All right, here we go. Over.
On the ground, the drive starts with Sims. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. D'Amico Ryan's the one that got him down. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Second down following the run.
Single. 12 line. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A dump off to Sims. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And just like that, it's third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Well, still in search of the first down after that last completion. Out of the gun now on third down. He's got time in the pocket, and that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Cowboys really played well last week, but that hasn't always been the case today. The Raiders have to be commended for playing a really good first half. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Raiders have it at the 2. Henry's going to take off here, and he'll take it in for a touchdown, taking the lead up to 10. Raiders on 2nd and 7. Under pressure here, and the pass is picked off. Gilbert's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Offense now with the shot after the pick. Here we'll get a fumble on the run. Raiders pick up the football and score. Raiders push the lead to 17. Cowboys have it late in the second. Yates is going to complete the pass from the gun. And this play goes for a score. Cowboys trail now by 10. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brett. And Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right, your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. Now Sims. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Servette, and he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Mark Barron from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see.
Let's go. All right, here we go.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Now under pressure, and they got to him again. Mark Barron in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Dallas. This is taken at the 15. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take possession. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They go play action here on 1st down. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. It's complete. Flater, right side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Looking to jam. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Carr now on 1st down. That's complete right around the 8. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
On play action, now Carr. That's caught at the 3. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. Carr looking to throw him, and that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Marcus Colston, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A handoff to start the drive to Sims. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, they run with Sims. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
This is fielded at the 7. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now back onto the field. Here comes the Cowboys defense. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he has not been able to find the same type of running room this week as last. Such a great game. We met with him. He came in, had the biggest smile on his face, so we just thought that would carry over.
Sometimes you wonder if maybe it borders on a little overconfidence. They were so good last week. He's getting extra blocking out on the perimeter from the wide receivers to get him downfield. In this game, maybe he came into it with the idea that it's just going to be like last week, be a piece of cake. And what they're getting from the defense isn't exactly the same. And, boy, it's been tough going for him.
Time running out here on the play clock. Carr to throw on second down. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on third and short, but sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here's the punter, McAfee, to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Receiver complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Pierre Garçon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
Now Parkey for the extra point. He's got it, and the score's now 27-14. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now here come the Raiders. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, here's Carr. Muscles him off. He's going to let this one go deep. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off here by Aaron Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Now come the Cowboys. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this complete to Henry over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding time. And right side, Henry's got it. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That'll be a gain of 16. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down now after the pass completion. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
That was a nice completion on an out route. And those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. A dump off to Sims. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Again, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Wes Horton in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Single. All right, here we go. Get up. Let's go. Let's do this.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry fighting through. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Again, it's Henry. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Throw here. Complete. Richardson has it. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead him to 4th down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it with Henry. He finds some open field here. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. So it'll be first down here after the run.
And there's your dagger right there. I tell you, there's a lot of coaches in the league that would not have gone for it on 4th down. But with a 2-score lead, they roll the dice. Get the first down, and that should be enough to salt this one away.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Here we go. Red 18.
Carr going to look to throw. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
And this looks to probably be the final play.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. Tight end left. All right, here we go. Red 8.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Carr escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Raiders, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.